Hello and welcome to Brain Bites. Today's topic is directly connected to your health, lifestyle, and everyday choices. We are going to completely demystify the complex biology behind hair aging. Look, it's something that bothers pretty much all of us at some point, right? But what if I told you that gray hair doesn't have to be a one-way street? What if understanding the exact cellular mechanics happening on your scalp right this very second could actually help you stop or maybe even reverse the whole graying process? Okay, so let's dive right into this, because the very first thing we need to do is shatter a pretty massive illusion. Are you ready for this? What if gray hair isn't actually gray? The shocking truth here is that gray or white hair is completely transparent. Literally, it is entirely colorless. It simply lacks pigment, and when light shines through it, it creates this visual illusion of being gray or white. So to solve the gray hair puzzle, we're not fighting a color. We just need to figure out exactly where our natural pigment went. Here is our roadmap for today's explainer. First up, we'll look at the illusion of gray hair. Then, the oxidative stress factor. Third, the master antioxidant. Fourth, dietary solutions and supplements. And finally, we'll cover lifestyle habits. Understanding this biology is going to lead us directly to some really actionable solutions. All right, Section 1, the illusion of gray hair, uncovering the transparent truth. Before we can even think about fixing the loss of color, we have to establish exactly how our hair gets its natural, vibrant color in the first place. So, let's introduce our foundational hero here, the melanocyte. Down at the very bottom of your hair shaft is an area called the bulge, and right inside that is the hair bulb. Living right next door to this bulb are the melanocytes, which literally translates to melanin cells. Your natural pigment is melanin. It's the exact same stuff that gives your skin its color. Think of these specialized cells like tiny biological ink cartridges. They constantly pump melanin into the bulb so that any new hair growth is thoroughly saturated with rich color. But here is where the natural aging process kind of throws a wrench in the gears. As your cells divide over your lifetime, they have to copy your DNA. Imagine your DNA as this massive, incredibly long computer code. Every single time a cell divides, it's like copy-pasting that entire code into a brand new document. Over time, little errors are bound to slip through. A switch letter here, a missing word there. Your body definitely has proofreading mechanisms, but they aren't perfect. Eventually, this steady accumulation of DNA damage causes these vital pigment-producing melanocytes to become less numerous and die off. Simply put, fewer melanocytes means less melanin. Moving on to Section 2, the oxidative stress factor, the biological villains stealing your color. Now, simply losing those ink cartridges over a lifetime doesn't fully explain why hair suddenly turns stark white. There is actually an active, highly destructive process happening right under the surface. The real culprit is in this four-step sequence. See, as a normal byproduct of your hair follicle's metabolism, it produces a chemical called hydrogen peroxide. Usually, an enzyme called catalase breaks this down and safely sweeps it away. But as we age, our catalase levels take a nosedive. Step 2, without enough catalase, hydrogen peroxide begins to build up directly inside the follicle. Step 3, it literally destroys your melanin and actively stops new melanin from being made by blocking an enzyme called tyrosinase. Which brings us to Step 4, your hair is actively bleaching from the inside out. It's quite literally the exact same mechanism as driving to the pharmacy, buying a bottle of hair bleach, and applying it to your head. Crazy, right? This all builds into a much larger cellular battle. It's not just hydrogen peroxide doing the damage. We also have these things called reactive oxygen species leaking from your cell's mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. All of these destructive chemicals fall under the giant umbrella of oxidative stress. It's a constant tug of war between these chemical byproducts and your body's natural defenses, like catalase and antioxidants. Oh, and hey, if you're finding this video useful so far, take a second to like the video. It really helps the channel grow and reach more people. Let's jump to Section 3, the master antioxidant, your body's ultimate defense mechanism. If oxidative stress is busy bleaching our hair, well, we need to arm our defenses with something that can neutralize those biological villains. Enter glutathione, often just referred to as GSH. This right here is the absolute hero of this explainer. Glutathione is the body's preferred master antioxidant. It is naturally produced right inside your own body, specifically to combat oxidative stress, neutralize things like that pesky hydrogen peroxide, and protect your cells from the inside out. Having high levels of glutathione is hands down one of the absolute best ways to stop that internal bleaching process right in its tracks.
But hold on, before you run out to the supplement aisle, there is a massive catch you need to know about. Standard oral glutathione tablets, the ones you see everywhere on the market, are honestly largely a waste of money. Why? Because glutathione is super sensitive and gets easily destroyed by your harsh stomach acid before it can even be absorbed into your system. If you insist on taking it orally, you absolutely must look for liposomal glutathione. The liposomal protective layer basically acts like a biological shield, making sure the antioxidant actually survives the stomach acid so your body can use it to defend your hair follicles.
All right, Section 4, Dietary Solutions and Supplements, Fueling Your Cellular Defenses. Now that we know our primary target, how else can we supply our bodies with the raw ammunition it needs to fight off oxidative stress? First things first, we have to stop the leaks in the ship. Nutrient deficiencies are a massive and honestly very often overlooked culprit that accelerates premature graying. If you are noticing graying hair, it's highly recommended to go get some blood work done and specifically check your levels of vitamin B12, iron, zinc, folic acid, and copper. If you're deficient in these essential building blocks, your body simply cannot maintain those healthy melanocytes.
Assuming your baseline levels are solid, we need to basically flood the system with external antioxidants through our diet. Here is a super actionable grocery list for you. You want vitamin C and E from things like citrus, nuts, and berries. You want polyphenols from green tea and, yes, dark chocolate. But you know the easiest dietary hack? Just look for color. Brightly colored fruits and vegetables, think yellow peppers, red pomegranate, dragon fruit, they generally pack the highest punch of cellular protection. And please don't forget minerals like selenium and zinc, because those directly support your body's natural production of that master antioxidant we talked about, glutathione.
Aside from your basic everyday nutrition, there's some seriously fascinating science right now looking into antioxidant boosters. These are compounds that act as precursors, which basically means they give your body the raw materials it needs to ramp up its own natural defenses. N-acetylcysteine, or NAC for short, is a very famous precursor that helps your body synthesize glutathione. Plant extracts like resveratrol, which comes from grape skins, and curcumin from turmeric are also showing incredible promise when it comes to boosting overall antioxidant activity and fighting off that follicle-damaging oxidative stress.
Which brings us to our final section, Section 5, Lifestyle Habits for Healthy Hair, Protecting Your Follicles Every Day. Look, you can take all the liposomal glutathione in the world, but if your daily habits are working against you, it's a steep uphill battle. These tweaks are what we can call lifestyle antioxidants. They aren't magical pills, but they actively reduce the biological burden on your cells. First off, getting 8 solid hours of sleep directly boosts your natural glutathione levels. Managing mental and chronic stress is absolutely paramount. High stress spikes your cortisol levels, which actively drives up oxidative stress and DNA damage, fast-tracking the entire aging process. Also, protect your actual physical scalp. Use UV blockers to prevent the sun from roasting your skin cells, and try your best to minimize your exposure to heavy air pollution, because that is a huge environmental trigger for oxidative stress.
And finally, please just be gentle with the hair you have. Continuously hitting your hair with harsh chemical dyes or loading it up with excessive heavy styling products causes massive local inflammation. You want to keep your scalp healthy, clean, and well moisturized to promote strong blood flow. Using an antifungal shampoo like Nizoral maybe once or twice a week is actually a fantastic scientifically backed way to reduce microscopic scalp inflammation, which gives your hair follicles the peaceful, healthy environment they really need to keep pumping out that beautiful melanin.
The power to slow down and potentially even reverse this whole transparent illusion is largely in your hands. It all comes down to managing oxidative stress and supporting your cellular heroes. Which brings us to our final question for you. Which lifestyle tweak will you make today to protect yourselves from oxidative stress? If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, share it with others, and subscribe to Brain Bites for more valuable insights.